A very good morning to all present. I am Hiya Chatterjee, and on behalf of the Birdwatchers Society, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome all of you who have assembled here today from diverse backgrounds, regions, and communities, having but one shared interest, the love of birds. Without further ado, I would like to invite upon stage the President of Birdwatchers Society, Mr. Bishoppriya Rao, to deliver the welcome address.
Here, after the success of the first edition of the BengalBirders'Meet, it is a great privilege on my behalf and the society to welcome all of you to the second edition of the BengalBirders'Meet. Gives me a lot of joy and pleasure in seeing this very healthy turnout, and all of you who have spent your time and energy to make it to here, I welcome you all. Here we have experts, stalwarts in their own rights in the field of ornithology, who has made time to make themselves available for this event.
Thank you, Mr. Raut, for setting the tone of the event. I would now like to heartily welcome on stage our esteemed delegates. Thank you to all esteemed guests who are present here on stage today, as well as to the audience.
Department of Post, through the colorful world of philately, has always been instrumental in commemorating important achievements and landmarks of national and international importance through issuance of postage stamps, special covers, and picture postcards. Postage stamps or dark ticket are a window to the world. It goes without any saying that any stamp is more than just a postage stamp. It represents the culture, tradition, heritage, history, flora and fauna of a nation. Today on the Bengal's Birders Meet, organized by Birdwatchers Society, Department of Post West Bengal Circle will release a special cover in commemoration of Kingfisher Splendor of West Bengal to highlight its uniqueness, ecological values that it acquires, along with the role it plays in maintaining ecological balance of the ecosystem.
Announcing Kingfisher Day, a celebration of color, conservation and commitment. The Birdwatchers Society is proud to propose that the third Sunday of July be officially recognized as Kingfisher Day. Beginning this year, the week starting from this third Sunday will be observed as Kingfisher Census Week across West Bengal. This initiative will focus on documenting the distribution and diversity of kingfishers, an important step towards understanding and conserving these stunning yet vulnerable birds.
They say that art is I, because artist does all the things himself or herself, dance, poetry or whatever. It's not a competition. Science is we, because you can't develop science without, science is a continuation thing. And it is not that one isolated scientist sits somewhere there and does all the things. And I add that conservation is us. We all have to participate in conservation. It is not that it is a job of the conservationists or the bird watchers, because conservation affects all of us. In the case of the Hazargatta, female florkin came to Hazargatta. Hazargatta is in Karnataka. One female florkin came and the photographers chased her so much that the female died or disappeared or died. They just wanted to photograph on the ground, they wanted to photograph on the flying bird, So one after the other with the long lens. Yeah. So they have also become a huge problem. Unlike in European countries where there are very strict rules, one lapping came and you see the hundreds of photographers, but they're all standing there. They will not go chasing the bird.
In India, we have 9 species of hornbills, but in the eastern Himalayan region where I work, there are 5 species. Of course, in North Bengal and the area where we've started working later, there is also the Indian grey hornbill, which is found in more urban, rural habitats. So there's the great hornbill, which is the largest, which is 3 to 4 kilos. Then there's the wreathed hornbill, which is a slightly smaller bird, which is the westernmost distribution in the North Bengal region is supposed to be near Buxa. Then there's the rufous-necked hornbill, which I consider the most beautiful hornbill, which is a bird which is found in the higher elevations. And then you have the cooperatively breeding, more secretive, less studied, less known brown hornbills, the white-throated brown hornbills. And of course, you have the oriental pied hornbills.
Taking a closer look at Southeast Asia, for those of you who look at species diversity globally, Southeast Asia is a very rich region of the world for biological diversity, not just in birds, but also in terms of other groups of species, to the point that almost every single kilometer square of Southeast Asia's landmass fall within a biological hotspot, or what we call hotspots of biodiversity. There are 4 major hotspots of biodiversity in Southeast Asia out of about 40 to 50 in the world, and these are well-defined hotspots. Mainland Southeast Asia and a little bit of India in the northeast region.
So the Sundarban landscape, as we all know, it is shared between India and Bangladesh. Almost 35% is in India and the remaining is in Bangladesh.
Malda district is not traditionally a forested district. It has only 1,700 hectares of forest land. That is like 1.7 square kilometers, which is very small when compared to traditionally forested areas of North Bengal and South Bengal.
The Forest Department, Government of West Bengal is implementing a project called WBFBCCCR, the full form of which is West Bengal Forest and Biodiversity Conservation Climate Change Response Project. It's basically the second phase of JICA project. It's an externally aided project funded by JICA or Japan International Cooperation Agency.
প্রকৃতি তো আমাদের বাঁচায়, প্রকৃতি আমাদের শেখায়, এবং যখন বেরোই তখন হয়তো সমুদ্রের ধারে, পাহাড়ের ধারে কোনো বিশালত্বের কাছে গেলে আমি যে আসলে কত ক্ষুদ্র সেটাও অনুভব করতে পারি। আর অনেক সময় ভুলে যাই কৃত্রিম পরিবেশে থাকতে থাকতে যে আমরা মানুষ অ্যাজ আ স্পিসিস এই অন্যান্য এত স্পিসিসের মতনই একটা স্পিসিসই মাত্র, আলাদা খুব কিছু নই, নততর কিছু নই।
Take for example the great hornbill. Now you would expect the upper half of West Bengal to be full of data, but there is no data here. Only some specific places where birders go and do e-bird. So we have incomplete coverage. Then we go season wise, and I have done analysis on seasonal analysis. So we have taken 6 seasons, 2 months each. So we've got summer, we've got monsoon, we've got autumn, late autumn, winter and spring.
This is what one of these 6.6 kilometer grid cells actually looks like. This is how the sampling is done with it. Each of these grid cells is further divided into 4 3.3 by 3.3 kilometer quadrats. The idea is that each one of these quadrats will be sampled. These quadrats are further divided into 1.1 kilometer subcells. One out of these 9 subcells is randomly selected. So if you think of the whole map of West Bengal, you're going to have 9 into 4 into 6.6 kilometer subcells, out of which 1 out of those 9 is going to be randomly selected and then sampled.
Now, PT, as I've already mentioned, is a very small area, and it roughly has around 4 hectare landmass, pretty small. And in this island, historically, Alan Octavian Hume, the godfather of Indian ornithology, first reported nesting of seabirds in the Lakshadweep Islands back in 1876. Then Alcock, 1902, was the first person to report that nesting activity is happening in PT. This was followed by multiple expeditions by Madraj Naturalist Society. They conducted multiple expeditions.
Why do birds migrate elevationally? The research out there kind of has mainly 3 or 4 theories as to why birds migrate elevationally. The first one is climatic constraints. Basically, it gets too cold for the birds at high elevations, and therefore they migrate down to escape the cold. There has been some research in the neotropics, like in Costa Rica, where they found that birds actually migrate to escape extreme precipitation events. It gets too rainy for these birds to be able to forage, so they start migrating down.
To understand the fruit availability and how it is synchronized with hornbill breeding season, we also study trees. We also monitor the tree phenology. So basically, we record the presence of flower birds, flowers, ripe fruits, unripe fruits, and also the state of leaves. These are some of the pictures of the hornbill food plant species that we saw during our tree phenology monitoring. These are some of the very important hornbill species, and the names in brackets are the local names that are called in North Bengal.
We have about 47 hornbill nests that we've located in Buxa so far, and we also record the nest tree characteristics and the habitat of these trees. So this is the location of the various hornbill nest trees in Buxa. As you can see, they're quite spread across the area, and the great hornbill and the oriental pied hornbill nests are usually located in the low to mid elevation areas, whereas the wreath hornbill and the rufous-necked hornbill nest in slightly higher elevations.
So all sorts of behavioral stuff can be taught to children regarding this. Again, a real bird thing, we tried storyboarding with our bird club, and this is one half of a story that they created of a Robindra Sarovar-like habitat where storks and night herons and pond herons and all sorts of birds around the habitat are interacting about. You can read this on Fantail in the latest issue of Fantail. This is not entirely over here.
So now the final pillar, which is reflection and sharing. Our whole teaching method is based on creating a safe and fun environment for the children. And as it happens, they have the most fun when they're sharing with each other.
Can you let us know how you think the Forest Department can best support an ambitious project like this, which will require birdwatchers to go to different corners of the state and maybe work in some slightly difficult conditions and try and understand the birds there?
Okay, firstly, thanks to the organizer for inviting me, and I am although I couldn't attend the entire day, 2 days, but what I saw in last 2 sessions is really good. Coming to the question that he posed before me, actually we are looking for collaboration. Collaboration means the kind of research that the independent organizations, NGOs take, which has got a management implication.
But I would like to first thank all of you sitting there to take 2 days out of your weekend to come and attend this program. Many of us are members who we expect to be here, but those who are not, thank you very much for being here. I'd like to thank all our speakers, Dr. Ramani, Mr. Rai, Mr. Dr. Datto, Dr. Ghosh, Dr. Devti, Mr. Jasper, Mr. Justin, Mr. Mondol, who's not here today, Dr. Ashwin Vishwanathan, Ms. Pradhan, Ms. Mondol, Mr. Mitro, Mr. Menon, Pitash and Anandarup for making this fantastic presentation, and I hope we can keep doing this every year. I would like to quickly thank our donors who has made this whole thing possible and keeps our School of Birds alive and many of our projects going. So Parvati Capital Market, Merlin Hawk Aerospace, Helm Analytics, Yashvi Securities, Gayson and Company, Sheraton Daga Foundation, Millennium Stockbrokers, PRP Securities, and lastly our optical partner Pentax. Thank you very much for putting our stall and enriching the optical side of our BWS. I would like to thank all our members who made this whole program possible. They worked tirelessly behind the scenes, making the whole thing seamless and made it look very easy. It wasn't very easy. We'll like to see you again next year on 18th and 19th for BBM 3, which we will hold somewhere, maybe here again. And join us with all our endeavors, starting from birdwatching to education to all the things that we are trying to do, research. We are an open platform, so become our members, strengthen our numbers. We're already 320 strong, make it 500 next year. And thank you everyone. So when you join BWS, I quote from here, ask not what BWS can do for you, but ask what you can do for BWS and make it bigger and stronger. Thank you so much.